Sophie, let's talk about Wrexham. Wrexham are now in the EFL Championship, the second tier of English football. They were only in the bloody National League 3 years ago. How's this happened?
Yeah, smashed it.
Back to back to back promotions. Can they make it back to back to back to back promotions this season, Sophie, is the question. Before we answer that question, be sure to share your thoughts in the comments, guys. Let me know, are Wrexham really going to do it? I mean, it's hard, but who knows? I mean, they've proved a lot of people wrong over the last couple of years. Be sure to support the video as well. Drop a like and make sure to subscribe. We will cover Wrexham on a regular basis now they are in the Championship. So if you like Wrexham, get involved. Right, Sophie, let's talk about it. The main question, are Wrexham going to be promoted? I think a lot of people are going to say no this time.
Yeah.
Can you clarify why that might be?
I think there's a massive difference between, probably people have said this, between League 2, League 1, saying, oh, it's a big jump up to League 1, and then they smashed it, to be fair. Them and Birmingham absolutely smashed it. But are people saying, oh, Birmingham are going to go straight up to Premier League? Not really. And they're almost in a similar boat to Wrexham. Both of them are on an upward trajectory. They've got money to invest as well. They've got a decent pull. So I can see why people are thinking, okay, they could do well. They've already secured back-to-back-to-back promotions, which is absolutely incredible. But I do think that jump from League 1 to the Championship might be a little bit too much, especially for their current squad.
It does feel like we're going into this season and it's Wrexham's biggest test yet, but they always rise to the challenge. So quick brief history on Wrexham, of course. Wrexham, historic football club dating back to the 1860s, I believe. They did have an appearance in the second tier back in the day. They did beat Arsenal in the FA Cup back in the 90s, but they have had problems since the turn of the century and financially as well. They've been stuck in the fifth tier of English football, which has been the Conference and now the National League. Always, I thought, a big club for that level, always had the potential to get promoted. But it wasn't until Ryan and Rob went in there that they really started to get things going. And at first, I think almost everyone was behind this project. Wrexham, this fallen giant of the Football League, down in the National League, everyone's like, yeah, go on. And Ryan and Rob, very, very popular, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I personally really enjoyed the series. So they get them up into League 2. Which is difficult, by the way, to get through the National League, because only two teams go up. You know, you have to win the league or the playoffs. It was a very nail-biting end to the season. They got past Notts County with Ben Foster's penalty save and everything. But then they smashed League 2, Sophie. I backed them to win the National League. They did. I said they'd finish second in League 2. And they did, back-to-back promotions. Yeah. So they go into League 1. Bear in mind, League 1, very strong last year. Huddersfield, Birmingham, Rotherham, all coming down from the Championship.
Yeah.
And Wrexham have gone up again. They finished second last season. I only thought they'd finish sixth. So this time I did actually slightly underestimate them. I still had them in the playoffs, but this is what I mean about them proving people wrong. But the thing is, they're maybe not now, though, as universally popular as they were before, because
they're not the underdogs anymore.
They're spending money and people don't like it.
No.
Are people feeling threatened or jealous? Do you think that's what it is?
I think there is an element of jealousy, to be honest, but I think a big thing of it is a lot of people love an underdog story. You'll watch FA Cup games, you'll see a team in, say, like League 2, maybe even National League, come up against Prem opposition and everyone's rooting for them because they want the underdog to do well. Now, they've kind of outgrown that underdog because they're spending a lot. And we obviously saw that in League 1. They spent a lot, not as much as Birmingham, but they did spend a lot. And then there's almost an expectation there. So they've outgrown that underdog story. And a lot of people, there is a bit of jealousy, but also it's like, it's not this fairy tale anymore because you are spending the money. It's not as impressive, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess that's true, and I think people maybe get a little bit bored of someone being so successful for so long. But the fact of the matter is, they are a force now, and the Championship is a tough division to just get to for a start. Wrexham do have financial weight behind them. If you look at the graphs in terms of who's spent the most money in the lower leagues, it's obviously been Wrexham's name popping up quite a lot over the last couple of seasons. But this is where things get difficult. The Championship is a massive step up from League 1, and I know people have said, oh, well, League 1 was a step up on League 2. This is serious now. Premier League teams coming down with relegation and parachute payment money is distorting this league, where it's a real mixed bag, isn't it? You get teams coming up from League One, which, for example, like Charlton, their objective has to be to stay up.
Survival, yeah.
And then Southampton and Ipswich coming down from the Premier League, who have to try and get back up to the Premier League straight away. Wrexham's a difficult one. As I say, most League One teams coming up are just happy to survive, but Wrexham have got real momentum where they just can't stop winning. The thing is, though, Sophie, and we're recording this in June, they have to attack the transfer window.
Yeah.
Because although they prove a lot of people wrong, not me necessarily, more other people, because I've actually been behind them a lot of the time. What I will say right now is, without massive upgrades, this team won't do very well in the Championship. They could maybe survive, but they really need to attack this transfer window if they're going to go on to do big things, should we say.
Yeah, I think with the Championship as well, there's a few teams that maybe aren't that good, but they've just got a knack of staying up, and you're competing against that as well as teams that have come down from the Prem, teams that have been in the Championship for a while but still have a big budget. So it is a very, very big ask to do well in this league, not just stay up. So yeah, they've got to attack the transfer market, but also they've got to spend wisely. So would you look at bringing in experience just to kind of stay up? Or are you looking at fairly young, talented players, maybe quite a few loan signings as well, and think, no, we want to not just stay up, but we want to actually push up the Championship? And then you can't completely rule them out of promotion. I think top two is probably out of the question. I can say that 99.9% sure they're not going to be getting an automatic place. But any team can finish in the playoffs, and that sounds mental, it being a promoted team. You think, well, you never know, but I mean, they've done it the last 3 seasons where maybe a lot of people have thought, no, this is a bit of a step up now. They've proved people wrong, so they could do it again. They could sign a plethora of players where you think, wow, what a team that could be. But right now, I don't know, I need to see a bit of spending, and smart spending for me as well.
Well, I think, yeah, I agree. It's difficult to do predictions in June, but if they do good business, then maybe come July when the season's about to start, we'll tip them to do well. In terms of the transfer strategy, I mean, Wrexham tend to sign experienced players. I mean, the thing is, they might not necessarily try and buy lots of players, but if they could pick up some of the best free agents, I mean, chucking names out, imagine like Jamie Vardy. The thing is, I think Wrexham will spend quite a bit of money on wages, maybe not on the actual signings, but more on the wages, like I say, the free agent approach. And also, I mean, Phil Parkinson has said about possibly going for a youth drive now, because Premier League clubs will want to loan out their youngsters to the Championship, and Wrexham could bed them into their team and give them really good experience. The final thing is, Sophie, if you're a player, Wrexham is a really attractive proposition now.
Yeah, it's very attractive.
It's a good club to sign for because of, I mean, everything. The documentary, Ryan and Rob. I mean, there's so much positivity at the minute as well. They could probably offer you decent wages. So why would you turn it down?
Exactly. It's decent wages. It'll be decent publicity as well, because you'll be a Disney star, but also the fact that there is so much coverage around that club. So yeah, if you're a young player, you're thinking that boosts my profile, and you're getting paid well for it as well. And I just think they are going to attract some good players, because they will want to play for Wrexham. They're on an upward trajectory, and also just there's a lot going on, a lot of positive things going on around the club at the moment.
Sophie, I'm sure next season's documentary will be interesting. A final thing to say, last season, Portsmouth, Oxford and Derby, the teams that came up from League One, all survived. I think Birmingham, Wrexham and Charlton all look very powerful this time round coming up. And I know it doesn't happen often, but Ipswich Town will be thrown around as this classic example of a team that came up from League One and got promoted straight away to the Premier League. Could Wrexham or Birmingham or even Charlton go on to do that? We will see. Guys, do share your thoughts. It's very early days as we start to look towards next season, but what's your thoughts on Wrexham? Share your predictions down below. How will they get on? Are they in for a reality check, or are they going to prove people wrong again? Sophie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
We will talk more Wrexham when the season gets started. Take care, everyone. Drop a like, subscribe. Peace out.